Hello, welcome to my channel, you little silly sausages. So, for those of you who don't know, I took part in the Art Fight Challenge for the first time this year, but I unfortunately managed to only get one of my characters out there for people to draw. But we're going to fix that today. Even though Art Fight is already done, but hey, at least I'll be more prepared for next year. So today, I'm going to be making some ref sheets for my girl Lilliath. You've of course seen her already, as she is in fact the character I use on my videos as some sort of PNG tuber, which by the way, I'll definitely be working on in the future, because I would love to animate her a little bit. She's also my profile picture. Well, as a matter of fact, my whole channel design revolves around her. The reason why I made a ref sheet for my other character Zoragon first was simply because I've drawn him way more often and I sort of already had an established idea of what he should look like. Also, I decided to join Art Fight only 1 week before it started, and I am very slow at drawing, so I physically had no time to add an extra character on my profile. But that's about to change. Before I get into the actual design, I would like to share some more information about Lilliath. She is a warlock drow who loves collecting powerful artifacts and weird creatures during her explorations of different dimensions. She has a Morticia Adams type of vibe, but she is very generous and loyal to the ones she cares about, which at the moment is no one. She was born noble and lived the majority of her life in the family manor, situated in the Underdark. Just like her sisters, she was then given a smaller but still remarkable house in the vicinity of the Darkblood Manor to do whatever she pleased in peace, which in her case turned out to be collecting creatures and researching artifacts to grow her power. Lilliath is not very fond of others. She has a pretty serious look all the time, except when she interacts with her beloved creatures. She is not interested in having a relationship, but she might make an exception for those who are just as evil and corrupted as her. If she can gain something out of it, of course. During one of her explorations of the Underdark, she came across a shadow who promised her great powers in return for knowledge. And that's how the pact with the Lord of Nightmares was sealed. After that, she went on multiple adventures. Her story is actually constantly developing, as she's the character I use whenever I play any video game. I first came up with her design when I played Baldur's Gate 3 for the first time back in 2023. That's right, she is my first BG-free character. If you're not familiar with this game or you still haven't played it, there might be some spoilers ahead, so consider yourself warned. So, during one of her regular explorations, she ends up being abducted by the Mind Flayer Nautiloid and then infected with a tadpole. That's where her first adventure begins. I'm not going to lie, that first run was just pure chaos. No NPC ended up romancing my Lilliath. I think only Lae'zel tried to hit on her, but I had to decline her as I figured that Lilliath would prefer Astarion, as he's more aligned with her goals and personality. Unfortunately, I failed miserably and nothing ever happened between them. But that actually helped a lot with the decision I made at the end of the game. So, after a very intense and evil campaign, Lilliath finally reached the Elder Brain with her party, only to then seize control of it and make everyone else their slave. After that, I came up with the idea that thanks to the power of the Absolute, she would be able to finally explore other dimensions. These other dimensions are, of course, other games that I end up playing. Every time I am now allowed to personalize a character in a game, I always try to replicate Lilliath's design and make decisions based on her personality. The only catch is that every time she finds herself in a different world, she has to fully finish the missions and tasks that world comes with to be able to gain enough power to go back to their original world. So that's Lilliath for y'all. She explores different worlds to look for new artifacts and creatures to gain more and more power. So, for her design, I figured I would give her a basic adventurer outfit which features a very thin and long sword and 2 wavy daggers as her weapons. These were all part of her heritage, as the Darkblood family is known to be one of the wealthiest collectors in the world. The sword and the daggers are imbued with the blood of all the enemies they have been used to slain, giving them that bright red color and the infamous status of blood weapons. As a warlock, Lilliath can of course use magic too, which she used to also craft these round containers that help her transfer creatures and objects directly to her house in the Underdark. Even though drows have generally white hair, Lilliath is a little different in that aspect. While the red strands of hair are part of her genes as a daughter of the Darkbloods, also known as the Red Rose family, when the pact with the Lord of Nightmares was sealed, her hair and eyes got touched by the shadows, making them pitch black. The only glimpse of light remaining comes from her accessories and her irises. I thought I would also make a more elegant outfit for her for when she needs to attend more formal events at the manor. So I gave her a black dress adorned with sparkling small white gems and a long cut on the side which lets out red ruffles. She also wears a red rose on her head as of course a symbol of her family. I definitely want to make more outfits for her in the future, perhaps inspired by some other games I played with her. Also, the reason why I also show her lingerie is because I just needed the base of her body to draw different clothes on. But I am scared of YouTube and Instagram, so instead of just a black rectangle to censor, I just gave her some undergarments, which I made sure would fit with her usual adventurer clothes. To finish off this first ever ref sheet of Lilliath, I added the first ever portrait I made of her, and then I drew some close-up shots of different elements of her design that I thought were not very clear to understand. And that's about it. If you're interested, she is now available on Artfight, so you can go ahead and bookmark her for next year's event if you want. I am pretty proud of how this ref sheet turned out, and as I said before, I definitely want to keep working on giving her more designs. But that's going to be something for another video. So yeah, thanks for watching and listening to my yapping session. Peace.